Hi guys, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge. And believe it or not, this is my first review that I'm recording in August of 2020. And this is what we're looking at. This is the new Platypus by QSP Knives. And why are they calling it a platypus? Well, just look at it. It looks like it's a sort of a mashup of at least a couple different types of knives. If you look at just the front end of the blade there, that looks like a Persian scimitar fantasy knife, sort of. But it doesn't get thinner as it gets closer to the handle, so it looks like a nice slicer here. We've got a fuller. We've got, a handle, two-tone handle and stuff, but we got this thumb riser with this funky thing up here. And I'll tell you what that is later on. This is a platypus indeed. And if you want to know more about it, stick around. The full review is coming to you right now. All right, let's start with some good looks at this platypus. Opened up, she is a good looking knife. Let's compare the size with the Ontario Rat. Pretty much the same size knife. Now, let's take a look at what we got in this knife. Here's this blade. It's got a nice fuller in it. All flat on the sides here. A saber grind, which is a flat grind. All belly on the blade. Really nice sharpener's choil. Thumb studs. It's got a tip that's like a scimitar tip. That is the tip that looks like this. Let me turn it slowly so you can see. And very well ground. I really like the looks of this. The cutting edge is quite sharp. In just small letters, it says 14C28N right there. And on this side, QSP. But it's not super dark and black and doesn't stand out. I like that. QSP has done a great job with this. I do like this blade. It's actually super useful. Having a long belly and a flat grind, it slices very well. Most things being made of good steel, 14C28N, it cuts very well. It actually has a fairly fine tip, so if you do need to do more precise work, you can grip it in such a way to work with that tip very well. About the only thing that it doesn't do efficiently is doing deep piercing. The spine of the knife is chamfered on the sides there, so it's comfortable on the hand. Even this forward edge part here is chamfered at least where the blade is full thickness. And then we come up to the really cool part of this knife. That's this region here. Thumb studs. I like thumb studs. These look quite good. They're very functional for right and left hand. We've got a thumb riser with chamfered jimping. Very comfortable in hand and gives extra grip. But what's this about, this little hook right there? At first I thought that was only decorative. But guess what? Nope, it's not only decorative. Here's a pocket. I know this is very close to the screen, but when you're taking it out of your pocket, it can get caught right on there and it pulls the knife out. I'd have to do a shot further away. Let's try this. Oh, yep, there's my feet. And let's do it this way because that's the way the knife goes in. And so let's just say we're taking the knife out and the blade opens. It works like an Emerson wave. So that's a good thing that I like quite a lot. It functions very well while being quite small. So that's a good thing. This got a lot of features to it. Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. There is a sort of a gift box type box that comes with it. You know, the black and gold kind of box. And there's the little made in China sticker. Yes, QSP knives are made in China. And then there's just the label on the side right there. Other than that, it's a nice clean box with a nice cutout section for where the knife goes in, and a little packaging and a card. I'll have to give you a picture of the card. So yeah, good knife, good blade. We've talked about the box now. How about this handle? This handle is also quite cool. We've got these decorative pivot pin screws, T8 Torx screws in there. It's got ceramic ball bearings in there. We've got a titanium back spacer with, let's get it to focus down here, a really cool milled section on it. It looks like one of those old Roman mosaic type patterns. But if you look closely at the close-up, you can see that it's milled out with a round piece of cutting stock. And what it offers is some jimping, some grip on your hand, and yet it's cool. It's got this really nice, well, is it purple or is it blue? I think it's more purple than blue. All three of the versions of this knife come with that same blue-purple back spacer. That's quite nice. The chamfering that I talked about on the spine of the handle is on the liners as well. So your hand's in here sliding around. It's nice and smooth to the touch. And then the edges of the G10 are rounded over. So this is a very comfortable knife in hand. We've got some step milling here on the handle and here on the spine end of the same end of the handle, the spine side. And the handle is very generous with a nice choil for your index finger. And then it just has a sweeping shape that comes back for the rest of your hand. And any kind of grip is very, very comfortable on this knife. You just grab it and hold. If your thumb's resting up here on the spine, that's very comfortable. Fist grip is comfortable. And it's a big handle, sticks out of the end there. I've got hands that are between large and extra large, and they really fit on there well. And yet, the handle doesn't seem big. My wife was holding this, and it's comfortable in her hand. So that's a really good thing. You've got this two-tone G10, and they've mated the green into the black pretty much perfectly. Like I said in the unboxing, it just is a very, very nice touch. A lot of knives that have these dual tone, you can run your thumb along it and it catches between the seams there. We've got this milling done on the side of the handles, which G10, which is also providing extra grip and decorative effect. Good size lanyard hole. You can't ask for more than that. And we've got a filled in spot for the left side pocket clip. And there's the pocket clip. It's a deep clip. Very, very functional. It fits very well, slides into pants very well, very comfortable, and it's lightly polished. Since we've got the pants over here, let's demonstrate what it looks like when it goes into a pair of pants. It climbs over the edge. Oh, let's get this back up here. It climbs over that edge very well and just slides in right to the bottom every single time. And so you've got just a little bit of the knife sticking out, and it looks good to me. I really like the functionality. And the fact that they've got this cutout here is not only to get into those screws, and I've never mentioned this before, and I actually probably should have. That little cutout on a lot of pocket clips gives you a little more purchase with your thumb to grab it to pull the knife out. Just thought I'd add that little tidbit. And then the handle swings back here, so a reverse grip is very comfortable because you can get your thumb over there. So this is an almost do-everything knife. Like I said, anything except for piercing deeply, you can do all those other tasks you want to on here. You can do cleaver work, although it's got quite a bevel, quite a belly on it. So it's also a great slicer. It does puncture very well for a short distance, but once you get it past this edge here, well, then it goes easy again. So as long as you've got enough force to get up to there, if you needed to puncture something, a nice fuller, and the fuller is graduated. It's deeper here than it is here, so it changes in depth. Just a lot of nice little touches on this design. Lock up, solid, up and down, side to side, no blade play. Lock up here, it's just a little bit later than I would like. It's about mid to just a little bit over mid. So, but that's not that big of a deal. It's still going to be able to have a long life before it wears all the way over. The release has got jimping on it right there. Let's bring that a little closer. It's got those 5 little sections cut out there. That just helps give the thumb more purchase when you want to go to close the knife. And it opens and closes very well. The thumb easily sets the, gotta watch these wires here, knife to being opened, activates, actuates. Like I said, this is my first review in over 4 weeks. So I did some unboxings, but I didn't record any reviews for the last 4 weeks. Easy to open the knife. The thumb stud works very well. The detent is awesome. Let's see if you can see it. It holds it well, and so this knife won't accidentally open in a pocket, at least not easily. So overall, it's a knife that I really, really like. I'll do the dimensions now, and then I'm going to do a summary where I might have a couple of new things to say. We'll see about that. So the specs, I've already mentioned the steel and the materials on the handle. The weight of this knife is 154 grams. That's 5.45 ounces. The sharpness of the factory edge, 140 best, which is very good. The length of the cutting edge is 8.96 centimeters, 3.53 inches. The length of the blade tip to the closest spot on the handle, 9.55 centimeters, 3.76 inches. The blade thickness, this dimension here, 3.42 millimeters, which is 0.135 of an inch. The blade depth, this dimension here, I usually do it about an inch up from the sharpener's choil, 2.64 centimeters, that's 1.04 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, right where my thumbnail is, 0.58 millimeters, 23 thousandths of an inch. So it's a tiny bit thicker than what I call perfectly optimal, but not a problem there. Oh, I forgot to measure the grind angles. I'll measure the grind angles and include them right here. The handle length, 12.29 centimeters, 4.84 inches. The grip area, that's roughly 4 inches, about 10 centimeters. The handle thickness, 1.5 centimeters, which is 0.59 of an inch, but that's only at its thickest. It's also, got a nice rounded handle. So up here, it's closer to, just around half of an inch. And same with down here. So it's very comfortable in hand that way. The handle depth, this dimension, 2.73 centimeters, which is 1.08 of an inch. And when it's closed, the biggest dimension is right there, and that is 3.58 centimeters, 1.41 inches. And the total length of this knife when the blade is deployed, tip to the end of the handle, 21.88 centimeters, 8.61 inches. How much does this knife cost? Well, it depends on where you go shopping. In North America, where tax is added later, this is $62.85 at White Mountain Knives. But at White Mountain Knives with coupon code CCE, you can get 10% off, which makes it $56.56 American pennies. Not bad at all. The converted equivalence is about 75 Canadian dollars for this knife if you buy it from White Mountain Knives. And that's a good value. I didn't find any other places that have a better price than White Mountain Knives, but I have found some other places worldwide Like in Europe, there's knifestore.nl and messerandco.de. They sell this for just a little over 61 euros, which is about 73 US dollars. But, there they have like, 17, 18, 16% value added tax, which is already included in that price. There's a store in the UK that has this knife for 57.95 pounds. That's about 76 US dollars, so roughly the same as it is in Europe. And I've got other links down below as well for where you can get this knife. This knife is not on Amazon, on any Amazon site that I could find. So if you're watching this very soon after this video came out, you probably don't want to waste your time checking all over Amazon because it's not there. But by the end of August, who knows? So let's show you a picture of this knife taken apart now. Here we have the very small ball bearings, ceramic detent ball. You've got spacers in here. The blade, let's take it out. We've got D-shaped pivot pin, so it's not free spinning. There's the other set of ball bearings. More skeletonizing to keep the weight down. And there's that titanium backspacer again. And of course, 3 screws that hold it together. This is a strong knife, well built, solid, big stop pin. I find nothing wrong with the construction on this knife. So let's get back to the review now. And the things that I like about it. What do I really like and dislike? And what are its strengths? And are there any drawbacks? I like its general look and design. I really would like to find out at QSP who was the main guy designing this, or gal. This is an awesome design. And I don't know, maybe they deserve a bit of a bonus. Maybe it was a team effort, but this was QSP internal design. So they're doing great stuff. I really like that backspacer. It's very functional and it's light and looks great. The design of the knife overall, like I mentioned, it feels heavier than it is. You put it in your hand and you feel like you got something really substantial. And then, well, actually, it's only 5.5, well, just under 5.5 ounces. So not bad at all. I really like this. That thunk when it opens, that gives us an assurance. It's so solid. The blade being super useful for most things. So comfortable in hand for all those grips. I really like this. What are the cons? Well, being nitpicky, it's, slightly off center when it's closed. And this is the factory setup. I'm actually going to take the knife apart later on when I inserted that picture. I don't like to fiddle with any of those things before I'm done doing the review. See, it's just slightly to this side, more so than it is to that side. I like the extra spacers here. The screws are good quality. I would like flush screws. That would be a little bit of a nicer touch. Not necessary though. But all the little things that are done to make this knife feel better in hand and look cool, I really, really like that. It's a solid knife. If you're looking for a Platypus, it comes in 3 colors. This black and green with an all satin blade. And then you've got 2 more, but they've got the flats on the knife have a black coating on it. And so it's just the main bevel and the grind that is satin. So there you go. Thanks for watching my little review video. Well, it's not that little, is it? And thanks to my Patreon supporters. My very next video will be about the giveaway. Remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye for now.